Welcome to the GetRealWealth.com radio show, where wealth means a lot more than just building a second stream of income. Listen and learn how 70% of the millionaires in America used real estate to create a lifestyle that most people only dream about. A lifestyle that includes good health, family, romance, travel, charity, and all the other parts of a balanced life. Now, here is your host, real estate investor and mentor, Steve Davis.
Good afternoon and welcome to the show. I am your host, Steve Davis, and today's conversation is going to be kind of serious because I've got something occurred last night, and one of the people that I'm mentoring that I was talking to today brought up what I feel is a very important point. And I put on social media that we were going to talk about belief, or believing in yourself, and realizing, though, that life is a team sport. But I want to focus on you as an individual, if you will. I'll primarily be talking about me, but I want you to see if you can't relate to what I'm saying and if it doesn't apply to you as well, because I think it does apply to most people. Last night I did an introductory workshop, which is basically the sales pitch for letting me mentor you. And I had the opportunity to meet a few of the people before the workshop. Very sharp, good communicators, lots of previous success. And some people would say, well, they're not in the financial position they want to be in. That's why they're at your workshop. So what do you mean they have a lot of previous success? They had careers, they've graduated college, some of them have, some of them hadn't, but some of them had. They had past experience that was successful. A lot of people define success money-wise, but if you listen to this show for a long time, there's much more to it than money. I know people who have a lot of money and they are broke in every other part of their lives. They are bad parents. They're out of shape. They're obese. They're miserable. But they got a lot of money. That's not how you define success. Success is the progressive realization of worthy goals. Sometimes the worthy goals that we go after don't give us the results that we want, but that doesn't mean you're not successful at what you were doing. The example I'll give you is, and I'm not going to give you the real details about this guy I'm mentoring, but it's close. It's close enough to make the point. This guy's a doctor. He's successfully been a doctor for 5 years. He's broke. He's in heavy consumer debt. Well, guess what? Heavy student debt. But if you were to tell me, oh, he's a failure, that's not accurate at all. He wanted to be a doctor. He successfully became a doctor. He wanted to go into practice. He successfully went into practice. All those things are success. They're just not giving him the results that he wants, which is financial independence, more time with his family, more time for romance, for fitness, for travel, and so on. So I'm standing there talking to people who have had a lot of them a tremendous amount of success throughout their life, but they're still not in the financial position that they want to be in. So we sit down and I lay out the map. It only takes about an hour to do it. I lay out the map to financial freedom through investing in real estate. And then I say, okay, if you want me to mentor you for the next 2 years with my team, it's $1,000. That's a 2-year membership, unlimited question and answer with the mentors for the entire 2 years, and a 2-day class. You know, a couple of them got up and didn't enroll. And it shocked me until I realized, because it shocked me because I thought, wow, he doesn't believe me. He thinks maybe I'm lying, or she thinks I'm lying, or I'm not real. And, you know, that can hurt your feelings. You feel bad. It's like, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? And I don't think so. You know, I stayed up for a couple of hours afterwards thinking about it and going back through my workshop. I even got some advice from some of the employees as to what they thought of the workshop. And yeah, I stumbled a couple of times, went too fast through the slides sometimes, but that's forgivable. I don't think anybody's going, oh, he stumbled through the slides, I'm not joining. I don't think that was it. It's not that they don't believe in Real Wealth Academy. It's not that they don't believe me. I mean, my team has 50 years of mentoring experience. 50 years combined. I don't believe that they're sitting there going, oh, these guys are not real. I've invested in over 4,000 apartment units. I don't think that they're saying Steve's not credible. He can't mentor me. I think it comes down, I was listening to Tony Robbins today, Unlimited Power. You know what I think it is? And I strongly believe it comes down to this. It's not that they don't believe in Real Wealth Academy. It's not that they don't believe that in me. They don't believe in themselves. I think that if a person has an opportunity right in front of them and they don't take it, it's not because they're stupid, not because they're lazy. They just don't believe in themselves. They know that we're real. We've been, 50 years experience, 4,000 apartment units. They know we're real, but they're scared to death. They're going to try something and fail. And it reminded me of some seminars I gave when I was with another company where the same thing happened. And I always wondered why. Why would a person take an hour to drive there, 2 hours to sit through a workshop, saying they want it, and then not take action? I think it's, again, not believing in themselves, not that they don't believe in us. We'll talk more about this after the break, because I'm going to stress that you start believing in yourself. This is the GetRealWealth.com radio show. You may call me, 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSEV. You're listening to KSEV, AM 700, the voice of Texas. Thanks for listening. Did you know that 70% of the millionaires in America used real estate as their main investment vehicle? You can and should have some real estate in your portfolio. This is Steve Davis, host of the GetRealWealth.com radio show. Starting with bad credit and no money at age 27, I began investing in real estate. By 30, I was retired. I will be explaining this at a free 2-hour introductory workshop this month. If you would like to attend, go to GetRealWealth.com. That's GetRealWealth.com. Thank you for listening. Welcome back to the GetRealWealth.com radio show. I'm your host, Steve Davis. Phone lines are open. Don't worry about what I'm discussing. Feel free to interrupt, if you will, and ask me a question about your real estate investing. If you've got a problem with a tenant, you're having trouble locating deals, maybe having trouble evaluating deals, because that's very important. Hard to make a decision if you can't figure out what that thing is worth. So give me a call, 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSEV. So we're talking about the concept that people hold themselves back because they don't believe in themselves. And they'll say things like, oh, I don't believe that real estate works. Or I don't believe the market. The market could change. And they hide behind all these other quote-unquote reasons, never really facing the fact that the problem is internal, not external. That the problem is inside them. They have a fear, and I think it may come from, well, I'm certain that it does come from this, that people have tried things in the past. Maybe they tried multi-level marketing, or maybe they even tried a set of books and CDs on real estate investing before, and they did nothing with it. And so they beat themselves up and say, oh man, look at that. I bought that set of books and CDs and never even read it. And what that is assuming that the past will equal the future. And that's just not accurate. The past does not equal the future. You can change. You can pull those books and CDs out and start reading them. You can hire yourself a mentor like the offer I made last night. You can start taking action on your goals. And then comes the goals. People set really low goals. And I always marveled at that until I started researching the subject. And I realized the reason they set low goals is because, again, they don't believe in themselves. Oh, I won't do that. Say somebody's 50 pounds overweight, morbid obesity, and they say, I'm going to lose weight. And then they do nothing. Why? They don't believe in themselves. And what I'm trying to get, where I'm headed with this, is that, that part of my job as a mentor is to believe in you. Bottom line, I get paid to believe in people. Do you realize that's the easiest job on earth for me? It's easy as pie for me. I don't even have to try because of my past experience. Seeing myself go from a 27-year-old kid with bad credit, no money, no financial education, to being a quote-unquote retired multimillionaire, I know that if I can do it, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So it's very easy for me to believe in you and work with you. Like that doctor I was talking about earlier. One of the things that I'm going to stress to him at our next meeting is the fact that he became a doctor. And all of the people that didn't become doctors that he knew. In other words, how many people disappeared out of his original class? A huge percentage, I believe. I guarantee it. And he's not giving himself credit for his success. When if he would give himself credit for his success, he would be able to do anything. And he is, by the way. I had a very good conversation with him this morning. I can sense that he's starting to believe in himself more than he did in the past. And those beliefs build on each other. Once you start believing, see, here's the problem that I'm seeing. People say, well, okay, I became a doctor, but boom, I'm not in the financial position I want to be in. I'm a loser, I'm a failure. That's not what's going on. You are a success. It just happens to be you're a success at ineffective things. If I had told him, if he had been my son, and I said to him, look, go become a doctor, no problem, but make sure you're building passive income on the side while you're doing that. You know what he would have done? He would have graduated with passive income, just like my son did. My son graduated college with $4,000 a month passive income from his 11 rent houses. Then he would be saying, I'm a success. But the truth is, either way, he's successful, just at ineffective things. You know, being a doctor is something you should be proud of, and in certain circumstances you make a lot of money when you're a doctor. But it is not what everybody thinks. Everybody thinks, oh, if you become a doctor, you're instantly rich. I'm telling you, I work with a lot of doctors, dentists, who are not doing so well financially. They call them dumb doctor deals because these guys come in and rip them off. It's a very common thing. Again, it's called a dumb doctor deal. It's where they get them involved in stuff they don't understand, and they lose their money. And then they call themselves failures. It is not failure. It's actually success, but at ineffective things. So what I want every one of you to do is I want you to think back on your life and think of all the things that you have done well. Go all the way back to high school. Did you play sports well? Were you in the band? Did you play an instrument well? Were you good at, maybe you were in student politics and you did well at that. Maybe you were very good at being a friend. Now, this may not sound like it's important when I first say it, but I want you to think, you know, that's actually a skill. Being a good friend to multiple people. Maybe that was your skill. Then you graduated high school, and some of you didn't go to college. You went straight into the workforce. Others of you went to college. Did you graduate? Well, that's success. If you went into the workforce, did you get a job? That's success. Yeah, but that job didn't get me in the front. It doesn't matter. We're talking about your ability to achieve results. And every one of you has achieved results. The problem is they're not the results you want. Okay, let's take a break from this because we've got a caller. Let's go to Kathy, and she wants to explain the eviction notice. Kathy, thanks a lot for calling in. How are you today?
Doing fine, thank you.
How can I help?
Okay, so I heard you yesterday say that on the rent's due on the 1st, on the 4th, eviction notices go out. What happens after eviction notice if they don't pay?
What you do is on the 4th, you deliver, and some people do it on the 3rd, Kathy. I always do it on the 4th. You give them a 3-day eviction notice. If they do not move out in that 3-day period, you call the judge, and the judge will tell you the steps to take after that. It generally translates into this. About 15 to 18 days later, they set a court date. You go to that court date. If the tenant shows up, they have to explain why they didn't pay rent. And it's pretty brutal, Kathy. The judge generally doesn't let them talk too much because they're going to say stuff like, well, Kathy didn't repair this, Kathy didn't. The judge is going to interrupt them and go, did you pay your rent? No, because Kathy didn't. Shh. Did you pay your rent? No, I didn't. And that's many times the end of it. The gavel goes down and they're evicted. Then they have 3 days to vacate the premise. If they do not, then the constable will come and actually move the stuff. You need to, I want you to email me this question as well, Kathy, but it takes about 24 days to get somebody out, Kathy.
Well, in my lease, I have I use a month-to-month lease. and
Okay.
it says that they have to give me a 30-day notice, or I can give them a 30-day notice. Would that be a better way to do it and not make
You
everybody
could
mad?
do it. Yeah, you could do it that way. But if they don't move out in the 30 days, you've just extended them in their 30 days without paying. Then you have to start the eviction process anyway. I would go ahead and start the eviction process, Kathy, but here's how you handle it. You don't raise your voice. You don't get upset. When they call you, you go, look, I'm not mad at you at all. I love you guys. I mean, I wish you would pay your rent and stay, but you haven't paid your rent. I've got to pay my mortgage, my taxes, my insurance. I've got to have somebody in there that pays rent, so I've got to go ahead and get you out. But again, I'm not mad at you. And it disarms them because they're not expecting that. They're expecting you to yell at them and curse at them for not paying their rent, and you don't do it. It's just a matter of fact, Kathy.
Sure, it's just business.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Another question off that subject, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I have 7 houses. They're all paid for.
Wow.
And,
Congratulations.
So all the rent is income, and then of course, and I have done like you have always said to make them quote perfect, almost
Excellent.
perfect. So,
Well, Kathy, we got to go to break. Do you mind holding on for about 4 minutes?
Sure. That'd be
Hold on, please. Okay, we'll be back with Kathy's other question after the break here on the GetRealWealth.com radio show. I'm your host, Steve Davis. You can call me at 281-558-5738. Thanks for listening. "70% of the millionaires in America used real estate as their main investment vehicle. Listen to the GetRealWealth.com radio show to find out how you can do it too. Saturdays at 10 a.m. right here on AM 950 KPRC. Welcome back to the GetRealWealth.com radio show. I'm your host, Steve Davis. We're on the line with Kathy, who has another question. She has 7 rent houses paid in full, and she keeps them in perfect shape. So, Kathy, what was the rest of your question?
So, getting all this income in, besides insurance, taxes, and that's about
Maintenance.
maintenance, which is very little, of course, because I have them almost perfect. The income, is that going to be considered unearned income or earned income, to where on income tax you got to pay the 15% instead of just 7% on unearned income? Do you know?
How long have you had these, Kathy?
I'm in my first year.
Okay, because if you had said you'd been at this for longer than that, I was going to be a little concerned that you didn't know the answer to this question. You need a CPA, and if you'll email me, I'm going to refer you to somebody that does my real estate taxes to talk to. You don't have to use him, but at least give him a shot. The answer is you've got to take out depreciation, and then it goes, it's more complex than just a quick answer. It is not earned income. It is investment income, but you also get to take out depreciation. So let's say you make $100,000. You know about that?
I understand about depreciation, yes, sir.
Excellent. Yeah, it will go on your tax return as passive income.
House is on a separate form, or I don't know.
No, there's I put my single family houses right on my 1040. I don't even keep my house single family houses. I don't even keep in an LLC. It's a pain in the rear, and then the banks can call the note if you move your houses into an LLC. Just make sure you have $300,000 to $500,000 insurance on each house, liability-wise. Do you have an umbrella policy over all 7 of them?
I don't think so. I better get that.
Yeah, it's not expensive, but do that, Kathy. You want about $1 million policy over all of them, and that's your asset protection. That way, if anything goes wrong and you get sued, your insurance pays for everything, and they can't touch your property, and you're safe. So I'll address that in the email as well.
Okay, fantastic. Okay.
You have my email?
Yesterday you were talking about dead equity or dead money in your equity in your homes and stuff. Should I try to either to get an equity loan and get another house, or?
I would most definitely refinance those 7, and I'd buy a small apartment complex or another group of single-family houses. That's just too much dead equity. You're absolutely right, Kathy. That was something I was going to address in the email, but since you brought it up, yeah, I don't like the fact that those are paid in full. Your rate of return is probably 7 to 9%, where you should be making 18-24% rate of return. Okay. And you can do that by refinancing those houses and buying another group.
I got you. Oh, shucks. There was one other thing that I wanted to ask you. Slips my mind now. I'm getting too old.
Well, throw it in the email or call me back.
I know what it was. It was about.
Okay.
We'd like to get some of this money into our grandchildren's hands. Not now, but when they get out into college and help pay for college, etc.
Sure.
That's something I need to talk to a lawyer about.
A CPA and a lawyer. Okay. A CPA and a lawyer. You can start giving them, I think it's $13,500 a year you can put into a trust, tax-free, something like that. And you can start doing that every year until you've got enough to pay for their college, and then it's all theirs tax-free. Yeah, there are strategies to do that.
And that's after I pay taxes on that money. Is that correct?
Yeah, you'd have to pay the capital gains and so on, but yeah, you'd be able to send them to college for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not going to get taxed
so
on it.
much. I will.
You're welcome, Kathy.
You at getrealwealth.com, right?
Yes. Thank you very much, Kathy. All right, you take care. You're welcome. Okay, so let's get back to this concept. Oh, by the way, phone lines are open, 281-558-5738, 281-558-5738. This concept that you've got to believe in yourself. There's one other reason you have to believe in yourself, because people can tell if you don't. And it is a turnoff in business to be contemplating doing business with someone that doesn't believe in themselves. Remember this thing I always say, and I got this doggone it, Stephen Covey. Who you are speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Who you are speaks so loudly I can't hear what you say. When you're with professional, experienced people, they can tell if you have a self-confidence problem. And it's a huge turnoff because they know it's going to cost them business-wise to deal with that type of attitude, belief, whatever you want to call it. So it is important that you have somebody, a mentor is my sales pitch, that believes in you. Think of it like when you were in high school and you played basketball and you threw a brick in the air and missed the shot. But when you got to your coach, he said, shake it off. You'll do better next time. Meanwhile, you were running across the court after throwing that brick, and you were just beating yourself to death. I'm no good. I shouldn't even be on the court. And then your coach says, hold on a minute. That's one shot out of 20. The other 19 were good. Don't forget that. and they encouraged you, and they built up your belief in yourself. Just about everybody needs that. And when I talk about raising your expectations in life, because you get out of life what you expect and nothing more, people won't raise their expectations because they don't what? Believe in themselves. They're scared to raise their expectations because they believe they're going to fail. They believe that they will let themselves down. They believe that there's pain if they set high goals, if they set high expectations. They will be let down and disappointed, the pain of disappointment. You've got to have someone on your team that is encouraging, that is lifting you up. I needed it. I think everybody does. I had Colonel A.I. Thomas when I was in high school. I had Lieutenant Purdy when I was in college. I had multiple mentors throughout my life. When I got down, when I didn't believe in myself, they did. And they propelled me, pushed me forward. Don't be ashamed of asking for help. And when the opportunity comes, take it. Now, the drawback to this is there's people that believe in themselves too much. And they think they're going to go out there and do everything by themselves. And I'm warning you, that doesn't work. See, there's a huge misconception. You notice at the beginning of the show, they do not call me a self-made millionaire. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm not a self-made millionaire. In fact, there's no such thing as a self-made millionaire. I know hundreds of millionaires. Not one of them is self-made. Let's look at me. I have a team that consists of over 100 people. 100 people that has allowed me to achieve the results that I have. I have 24 to 30 real estate agents on my team. I have 30 to 40 wholesalers on my team. CPAs, multiple CPAs, multiple attorneys, multiple contractors, roofers, plumbers. It's over 100 people. I counted it one time, and I want to say it was over 120 people that have helped me through the years achieve what I have achieved. So believe in yourself, but don't start believing you can do it alone. You will get slaughtered in the marketplace by people who are working in teams. All right, this is the GetRealWealth.com radio show. I'm your host, Steve Davis. We're coming up on the final segment of the show. So if you've got a question for me, please call now, 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSEV. You're listening to KSEV, AM 700, the voice of Texas. Thanks for listening. Did you know that 95% of Americans fail to retire by age 65 and 36% are dead? The good news is that here at the GetRealWealth.com radio show, we know what the other 5% are doing. 70% of them own real estate. We are a mentoring group for new and experienced real estate investors. We will show you how to build a second stream of income that will allow you to retire at any age. I will be explaining this at a free 2-hour introductory workshop this month. If you would like to attend, please go to GetRealWealth.com. That's GetRealWealth.com. Welcome back to the GetRealWealth.com radio show. I'm your host, Steve Davis. Remember that you can email me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ask Steve at GetRealWealth.com. Ask Steve at GetRealWealth.com. We are doing a free introductory workshop next Thursday evening. This is for an email I just got from Dallas. This guy's listening in Dallas. and he's flying into town next week. Yes, there is one next Thursday. It's from 6:30 to 8:30, and those are real times. We are done and out of there before 8:30. If you'd like to reserve a seat for that, I'll send you the link, but it's getrealwealth.com. Upper right-hand corner is the free introductory workshop. Upper right-hand corner at getrealwealth.com. Anybody that wants to come to that, please do. I actually teach that myself. It's about an hour and 15 minutes of material, and then I do question and answer for 15, 20 minutes, but we are done and out of there by 8:30. Okay? All right. So let's get back to this team sport concept. One of the big mistakes that I see people make is they have the idea that it's me, myself, and I. That I'm out there, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's nobody cares but me. I can't trust, that's a big one. I can't trust anybody but me. That is a doggone mental problem. That's not reality. I trust my 100-person team. I trust every one of them. I know that they're going to keep their promises. I know that they're going to do their job. Now, is everyone that I've done business with that way? No, there are a few, we'll call them scumbags, out there. But they're the exception to the rule, not the rule. Most people, the vast majority of companies are trying to do a good job. Now, some of them fail at it just because they're incompetent, not because they're evil or not trustworthy. They're just incompetent and don't know how to do their job. But they're not out there trying to hurt you or trying to rip you off. And so you've got to build a team to win at this game called life. And the question that so many different websites ask you is, who's on your team? Who's on your team? Are you out there with the me, myself, and I philosophy? Or it's you and your wife or significant other? That's your whole team? Well, here's the problem. No one can be a CPA, attorney, roofer, plumber. It's not going to happen. You need a team. And one of the major reasons I've had people join up to groups like mine that already have 40 houses, 50 houses. You say, well, why do they need you? Because they don't have a team. We do. See, I've already got almost 100 vendors that we're going to bring on at the beginning of March. In other words, the moment someone joins Real Wealth Academy, their 100-person team is already set up. They don't have to spend years creating it. It's set up immediately. So they go from being me, myself, and I to 100 people in one day. That is leverage. And that's what will make you more effective as an investor and really as a human being. Because, again, what are we investing for? Money? No. It's for more time with our family. It's for romance. It's for travel. It's for charity. That's what we want more money for, not just to have money. But it takes a team to excel. Now, if you want to be just mediocre, sure, go out there and try to do it all by yourself. But I'm warning you, you're going to place yourself in the 95%. The 95% that never achieve financial freedom and retire poor. If you want to be in the 5% that not only retire but thrive in retirement, those people all have teams. Remember what we found. The 5% all own businesses and real estate. And guess what it takes to run a business? A team. Guess what it takes to run real estate? A team. So my big sales pitch today is believe in yourself. Get someone on your team that believes in you, a coach or mentor, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't have to be me, but get somebody. And then build your team or join a group that will build your team for you. Because life, and especially business, they're team sports. Especially if you want more out of life than what you're getting now. Any questions on anything that I've covered today, be sure and email me. It's asksteve@getrealwealth.com. asksteve@getrealwealth.com. If you got a question right now, please pick up that phone and call me. It's 281-558-5738. That's 281-558-KSEV. Now, let's take a couple of questions that I received by email earlier today. Give me just 1 second to get into this. This first question is the classic, and it takes a lot of courage. It's basically saying, why am I qualified to be a mentor? What makes me so special? They didn't quite use those words, but I can tell that's what they're saying. And I'm not offended. Don't get me wrong. It's a good question. And it takes courage to ask, because I think a lot of people wonder that, and then they're sitting there scared to ask it because they think they're going to hurt my feelings or be rude or something like that. It's not rude to ask that. You need to ask it, and here's why. It's because I sat in seminar rooms, probably close to 100 times. I bought over $100,000 worth of books, CDs, boot camps, you name it. And I didn't just read those books once. I've read some of them as many as 15 times. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I've read over 15 times. On real estate investing, I've done Carlton Sheets' program over 15 times. Then I believed what they were saying. I made a decision to do what they were saying, and I took massive action. And I took what I learned from that $100,000 worth of books and CDs and went out and executed. I've done over 100 wholesale deals. I've owned over 100 single-family units, and I've also invested in over 4,000 apartment units. But the thing I'm most proud of is I've been a mentor for going on 30 years. I have helped people achieve exactly what I have achieved. In fact, one of my students is now mentoring me because he went out and surpassed everything that I taught him. He surpassed everything that I did. And you know, that's the student I'm most proud of. Now, some mentors, unfortunately, are jealous of successful students. That's their thing. They're insecure. They think they have to be the god. But this is the way that I look at it. If I'm any kind of mentor at all, some of my students should do better than me because they're smarter, they're better looking, they're better built, they're just better. See, if they don't do better than me, you know what's probably happening? I'm holding something back. It's just like with children. Your children are supposed to do better than you. I see people jealous of their kids. I've seen it. To me, it's disgusting. It really upsets me. Your kids are supposed to do better than you. For me, my students are supposed to, some of them are supposed to do better than me. It'd be nice, I guess, if all of them did better than me. I'd be very proud of that. But that's the answer. That's why I'm doing this radio show. Oh, and then one more thing, because I love to teach. I don't like it. I love it. I don't even consider myself working right now. This is a blast for me. When I was on the phone for 45 minutes, an hour with this new member I'm mentoring, that wasn't work. That was a blast. It was fun. So that's why I'm here, and I hope I'm doing a good job for you. All right, this has been the GetRealWealth.com radio show. I'm your host, Steve Davis. Remember, my email is open to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's AskSteve@GetRealWealth.com. AskSteve@GetRealWealth.com. Thanks for listening.
This has been the GetRealWealth.com radio show. Please remember that this show is for entertainment purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or investing advice. Always get a professional opinion before making any investment decision. To find out about the mentoring and consulting at Real Wealth Academy, visit GetRealWealth.com and attend one of our free introductory workshops on real estate investing. That's GetRealWealth.com. Thanks for listening and have a great rest of your day.